Hello and welcome to this mystical episode of Making Connections, the BattleCON analysis show where I, your host, Marco DeSantos, try my best not to do too many weird hand motions and try my best not to do so badly at BattleCON Online. As usual, I am taking a request from the comment section down below, and somebody in the previous videos asked for an Anath game, and so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play some Anath. Let's get to the game.
Avenge this world's suffering. Holomatrix ready.
Okay, welcome to this matchup between Anath and Seraphina. So Anath is a character who uses her various aspects in order to modify her attacks. She generally has very awkward ranges, but if she gets you, you get destroyed. On the other hand, Seraphina kind of works as the polar opposite. She is a consistent character with the ability to teleport in and out of the battlefield whenever she wants. And this matchup's really just going to depend on whether or not Seraphina is going to be able to dodge my attacks. If I get an attack in, usually it'll be worth 2 Seraphina attacks. So I have to be very careful about that. Seraphina has a specific style called Silver, which prevents me from gaining bonus stats, which can negate my aspects. So I have to watch out for that as well. And I get to pick my starting aspect. I probably just want to pick Soak, because Seraphina doesn't really do so well against Soak. So, welcome to the game. I explained the general matchup. I also explained what we're probably looking at in terms of what we need to do and the strengths and weaknesses of both characters and how they play into this matchup. So now we're talking into this game. We wonder what the Seraphina might do. Usually, Seraphina would play a tactical dodge right here. Seraphina is actually really strong when she gets her projection onto the board. First turn is therefore her weakest because she has no reliable way of being able to project. I guess she needs to teleport in order to be very effective. So there's a varied amount of ways I can deal with that. I kind of just want to do Leashing Drive. Leashing Drive seems like a very decent play in my opinion. Mostly because so I'll do this thinking of the tactical dodge. If this is a tactical drive though, I might get whammied. A tactical drive will deal 4 damage. If I anti-stun guard on top, it won't be enough because my opponent can just anti-power in response and stun me. So there's no point. I will just pass the turn. Hopefully this goes well. It's probably... This went way better than I expected. So in this situation, I can pull 2 and the opponent, if my opponent moved past me, I gain power. So this is super good. I will advance 1. This will allow me to on-hit pull the opponent 2 spaces. That gains me power, that deals 4 damage, and that stuns my opponent. Oh, actually beautiful. So I could keep my aspect. For now, I'm gonna keep it. Seraphina absolutely hates fighting against Soak. So this is very good for me. And, of course, because of the effect on tactical, my opponent doesn't even get to place their projection. So that was such a good beat for me. Now my opponent has very few options left. They have Silver. They cannot use this. So they're probably trying to find some way to place their projection at the very least. So the one that would probably be the most useful is probably just doing a Locust Dodge or a Silver Strike. So that's a 4 priority attack. I can't really match that anymore. So I can attempt a Dread Havoc, but that would also be an unfortunate situation. So I should probably just attempt to Dread Havoc the opponent. Nah, let's not. Let's just do Destruction Strike. That way if my opponent chooses to dodge, they still lose life as a result. And if this was an Implosion Drive, then kudos to my opponent for doing an Implosion Drive. I will pass. Ooh, a hollow... Oh, a Clash. Okay, interesting. So this ignores Soak at range 3 as far as I remember. And my opponent has access to Strike. I don't have access to Grasp. That's unfortunate. Oh, but my opponent does not have access to...
I agree.
Yeah, I probably just want to shot. There we go. So my opponent will miss 100% of the time here.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think they were trying to clash something. Or no, they must have misplayed. Yeah, that was definitely a misplay. So my opponent's gonna advance one space into my face and miss as a result. So I can retreat one or two. I'll only retreat one because the aspect of Ruin means that I cannot hit opponents at range 3 or greater. So that clash was actually really good for me. So now I'm on the projection. I probably do not want to change aspects. So can I hit with Dread Havoc? If I advance 1, 2, and then I advance 3, and then I move 1, yes. Right? But how much priority does this have? So the opponent... So if my opponent does this, they can pull me 1. So I'll be... Okay, so that still works. So I believe Dread Havoc is the correct play.
That will do nicely.
So, oh, but my opponent could just be dodging right now. That's also entirely possible. That's okay, I guess. If I get dodged, that's... Ooh, look a strike. Okay. So I'll get pulled 1, if I remember. Yeah, that says pull 1. This is actually pretty good.
I like this plan.
I'll strike here in response. Double clash, okay. So now my opponent can burst. But I can also burst. And since... Oh no, we'll both clash.
I like it.
Okay, I have to play burst here so that we clash out the burst. Yeah, there you go. Oh, this is silly. Okay, and then we're both gonna play... So there, he's gonna clash my grasp, and then he's gonna force a field. Do I want to not deal with field instead?
Good work.
I'm gonna play grasp, so that we both clash. There we go. Quadra clash! Oh my gosh, this game is pretty insane right now. So all of that...
Clever ploy.
All of that just to end up with me dodging. All of that just to end up with me dodging. But my opponent does gain a lot of force as a result. Okay, so I'm gonna advance one space here.
Need a better position.
Projection 3. So I probably want to stand here. No, I'll stand in the center. By dodging here, even if I'm in my opponent's range, I don't get hit. This has been like one crazy beat. Okay, I will not change my aspect. The soak aspect is just so good right now. So without hollowed or any of the ignore soak options, Seraphina's not really looking so hot. I could do Cataclysmic Havoc right now. The thing about Havoc is that the start of beat effect is advance 3, but if you don't have enough spaces, you just simply don't advance. So if I do this, it will actually be okay. But if my opponent does burst, I still eat it. So that might not be good for me. So the answer is to do Abhorrent Havoc. Yeah, that is the answer. I will do Abhorrent Havoc. Or I could just Leashing Drive again. No, I'll do Abhorrent Havoc. And then I'll anti-Stun Guard. So if it's anything but Tactical Strike, I guess, I'm okay. So I lose super hard to Tactical Strike. But I don't think my opponent plans to do Tactical Strike. We'll see, we'll see. Yeah. So I'm anteing for stun guard.
Focus through.
Power, as expected. Alright, so this might be just the tactical strike that destroys me. No? Not yet.
I hope you're ready.
That's unfortunate. Ah, that extra power. That extra power ruined me. That was a good play. That was a good play. Okay, my opponent is far away-ish. Yeah, I'll probably go to Aspect of Hate. Okay. So my opponent's fastest option in melee is to do this. They can also Hollowed Strike. I could do Destruction Strike, and I think that's okay. Yeah, but I feel like this is the Implosion. This might be the Implosion beat. But you should never play around Implosion because it's only 2 damage. So I'm probably just gonna do Destruction Strike. And then force my opponent to do something about it.
A clever ploy.
This is an interesting game, to say the very least about it. I'm very concerned about this tactical. That tactical was so good for my opponent. If I had just burst in that situation, I would have gotten away with a lot more stuff. I'm passing as well. Let's see what my opponent will do. Yeah, there's the Implosion. You never play around Implosion.
Activate.
Yeah, pull 1. If I had done the drive, I could have beaten this Implosion, but I don't think that's necessarily a good play. Alright, so for this beat, I'm going to do Switch Dodge. Then I'm going to go back into Earth Form, because I think Earth Form is very important right now. Yeah, I don't think my opponent can hit me at all. So even if they do Silver Drive, it's 1, 2, 1, 2. I can just go back 1. So yes, that's the play that we're going to make. Ooh. I had a really good first few turns, and then my opponent got a good first few turns as well in response. So yeah, we'll see whether or not this matchup ends up being good. Note that we're already at beat 6 out of 15, and we haven't really lost a lot of life. So, ooh, interesting. My opponent is doing a silver. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Silver strike. I'm most definitely taking center space. Range 2, interesting. Putting it on top of me. That means they're gonna do Locust. Okay. So I want to keep my current finisher card. So I can swap to Death, but I probably don't want to swap to Death. So Locust is a thing, but I'm generally faster. My opponent doesn't have any more hit confirm. So Unleashing Burst should do the trick. My opponent's fastest attack is 4 priority. If we clash, the Locust will go off. That's fine. Pass. This might be a dodge. Yep, it's a Locust dodge. So I'm gonna retreat 2. That way my opponent is forced to go into melee. Or I could retreat 1. Yeah, I'll probably retreat 1 only. So my opponent will be forced to go into melee range against me. So I can replace my aspect yet again. We are probably gonna do Aspect of Devastation for now. So for now, we definitely do not play around Implosion, because Implosion does nothing. So the Hollow Burst is an option that my opponent has. I could also just do Havoc. No, we want to just do this. It's relatively safe. And it clashes Hollow Burst, which is the play I'm really scared of, actually. So this is what we call a hedge parry, right? This is a good move, and then the move that counters this immensely clashes exactly with the move that I'm scared of it. So 1 priority, the Hollow Burst is 1 priority. That's what we're scared of. So if my opponent does the projection switch, not projection switch. So this might... Do I anti-power? I might as well anti-power here, because if this is just an implosion, I'm only taking 1 damage. So there's... yeah. So this is not the Hollow Burst I was afraid of. Interesting! Okay, a tactical shot. So my opponent can spend. I'm definitely not going to get stunned, because this is a Destruction Strike. Yikes, for 4 damage. I'm going to hit back for 5, though! So I can retreat 1 for sure, so that my opponent doesn't gain access to the swapping. Yummy. And then I can switch aspects. Probably not. Okay, so my opponent has silver, a bunch of moves. See, my philosophy is, if you don't know if you're gonna hit with Dread Havoc, you're probably gonna hit with Dread Havoc. That sounds about right to me. Oh, my opponent doesn't have anything that, yeah, my opponent doesn't have... Okay, so Dread Havoc might be actually the best play right now. So I can just advance 3, choose to advance 1, and then go back. Yeah. So this is good. I'm probably gonna anti-stun guard on top, just in case. Force my opponent to anti for power to hopefully break through my stun guard? No. Okay. Do I anti-speed? If I anti-speed, do you respond with speed?
Good enough.
There we go. Alright. Implosion field. Okay. So this might seem really dumb, but the move is actually to use Havoc to fizzle the movement, and then I advance 2 with Dread so that I don't get hit.
I hope you're ready.
Because otherwise, my opponent would get 1 damage in on me. So that was a silly beat, to say the very least. Do not change aspects. So I can leashing drive. My opponent can definitely clash that. If they do clash it, what's my response? I burst away. Because Silver Strike will definitely clash it, and that's not good. Maybe it was a mistake to keep this form. Okay, we're gonna do Leashing Drive. If we get clashed, we're just gonna clash parry my opponent all the way until we get to a point where they don't hit us. Yep, that was expected. Pass. I can't really do anything. There you go. Yep, there's the clash. But now we are relatively safe. No, because Hollow Burst will hit us. So we shot. Oh, yeah. We do Hollow Burst, it'll clash. Okay, so we definitely have to do shot. No, this could be strike. I should dodge so that the strike doesn't get used up.
Interesting.
Okay. There's a lot of craziness going on there. We're probably gonna go into the corner.
Take this.
It's not good though. I've missed every single of my Havocs. Do I want to activate Aspect of Death? No, we're just gonna keep this. My opponent doesn't have any ignore soaks or anything, so we should be fine. So, Silver Burst hits. So long as I have 2 priority, I should be okay.
I know what I must do. Interesting.
Yep, okay, so there's the anti. So now I know it's not a tactical something. It could still be a tactical drive though. 5 priority, it deals 5 damage.
The world has waited long enough.
So I should up my priority.
Make haste.
If my opponent does not respond with anti-priority, yeah, okay, so this is the tactical thing. So I can't really do anything about it. Locust Burst. Interesting. So my opponent will definitely burst 2.
Back.
And I can't hit him, because even if I advance 2, I'm not gonna hit. So I might as well only advance 1.
I march on.
This has been a game of dancing around, and yeah, that's pretty much been the entire game. It's just dancing, dancing, dancing. My opponent can place a projection at 3, which is adjacent to me. I have access to shot. And I will gain access to Dread Havoc. So Dread. So I can Dread Havoc. So I probably want to do Fire. I'm gonna do Dread Strike from this range because it will definitely hit, and if it does work out, I'll kill my opponent. So let's see if it'll work out.
I can do that.
Pass. What does my opponent do?
I didn't want to use this, but you leave me no choice.
Why didn't my opponent? Interesting. Hit, gain 2 life. Oh man. Okay. Okay.
I need a better position.
So my opponent will gain 2 life upon hitting me.
Reservite infusion!
Deals no damage.
Stop that. Oh no.
Ooh, I hit with a Dread Strike. So powerful. So now my opponent's just constantly losing life. At this point, I definitely should activate Aspect of Devastation. So now my opponent's constantly pressured by my speed. This should work if my opponent bursts. Sorry, if my opponent does dodge, that's fine as well. My opponent does not have access to Locus. I could Leashing Havoc. There's a series of plays that I can do right now. But I think the correct one is to do Leashing Dodge. This way I get to reposition for a guaranteed kill next beat. And I don't get stunned out of Aspect of Devastation, which is the important part here. So I think this is the correct play, because my opponent's play will probably be to do a Silver Strike. I highly doubt my opponent will attempt to do a Silver Shot. And if my opponent does anything else, I get to dodge for free because I have 6 priority.
Focus through.
Ooh, Silver Shot! Okay. Okay, I see where we're going here. So Silver Drive is the big problem. So I will Silver Grasp in response. Okay, now I can't beat Silver Drive. Nice play, friend. Nice play. Oh wait, I forgot. He has range on everything, so it doesn't matter what I do.
Seems good.
Yeah, I'll probably just burst back. Yeah, I'm gonna eat a big strike over here. So my opponent can advance 1 or 2, but probably only advance 1. I probably still want to stand on the projection though. So I do get stunned out of my speed. That's pretty good for my opponent.
Moving in. Executing.
Ah, nice one. Nice, excellent play. Oh my gosh, this game has been so juicy and has a lot of cool plays and all that. Yeah, I must enter into aspect of missing is what I'll call it. Oh, we're on beat 14. So my opponent has to deal a lot of damage to me right now. But I have aspect of missing on me. My opponent cannot reach 1 priority, so we're doing this. So now I'm just gonna try to win via timer. Since it's already beat 15, we just need to have more HP than Seraphina does. And remember, all of her attacks have range plus 0 to 2. Implosion Grasp. That attack gets really good, huh? I definitely have to advance one here. I will advance 2. That way I'm on the trap. That way my opponent can't locust me.
Here we go.
Okay, definitely going for soak. So tactical drive is a move. Tactical shot is also a move. So if I play a move with 4 priority, I should be okay. What's a Locust Burst like? Locust Burst will deal 4 damage to me, but I have soak. 5. Okay, I definitely have to play Abhorrent Drive. I could also finisher, but my finisher loses me 2 life at the end of every beat, so we don't want that. This is the last beat, so this means that so long as I have more health than my opponent by the end of this beat, I win the game. I think this is the first time that we've ever done this in a Making Connections, and this has been one of the longest Making Connections I've ever been on. So hopefully, this all works out, because I know my opponent only has 1 Ignore Soak card, and that's the Hollow. Okay, I will definitely go for priority. Oh, okay. There we go. It's a good game, friend. Good game. So good game.
I march onward. I will end system overload. What?
Great game, Vadsnaga. Great game. All right, let's move on to the post-game analysis in a bit. Okay. That was an interesting game, to say the very least. What happened that game? So a lot of that game actually was revolving around my aspect of Ruin, which was giving me Soak 2 on everything I had. Seraphina is a character who doesn't have a lot of power spikes. In fact, most of her attacks deal 2 to 3 damage. When she does get her power spikes in the form of tactical or in the form of her hollowed going off, they're usually very telegraphed and or cost her a lot of resources to do. This means that so long as I maintained the aspect of Ruin, Seraphina couldn't really do much to me. And that's basically what that game became about. Like I said, it would be about dancing around my aspect of Ruin. On the other hand, it also became a game of dancing around my opponent's Silver the moment my aspect of Ruin went down. So I think both of us played that matchup really well. I think I really won that game on the back of that Dread Strike I did. That Dread Strike dealt 7 damage and took 0 damage against my opponent's finisher. However, that finisher ended up being really good for my opponent as well because they were getting range on everything and I was so pressured I couldn't dodge any of her attacks anymore because bursts essentially became useless against the Seraphina. So this is a very interesting matchup and I'm glad I played it and I'm glad you all recommended that I play Anath. I don't play Anath enough and she's a very fun character and I really like her playstyle. So if you like this game, if you like this video, if you found this video to be entertaining and or informative, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe to the official 1199 Games YouTube channel. Without much else to say, don't forget your special actions, and thank you, Whirlwind Deans. Thank you, and good night.